I find the food, but there's never enough. I would love to be able to eat every day.
Life is really difficult for us. It is really sad. The soil is cursed. Cursed.
Decades of deforestation have left much of Haiti's soil barren and infertile. Traditional beliefs still exert a strong hold here. Wisman's father is a voodoo priest. He officiates at the funerals of those who die in the area. But tonight, he's summoning the spirits to thank them for Wisman's life.
Comme si, ouais, mais sérieusement, messieurs, dames. Ah, un peu de jour, bloqué, continuer de bloquer. Comme nous sacrés, ça se connaît, je vais nourrir, je vais boire, je vais manger, jusqu'à quel jour. Et le dernier jour, plus même c'était 20 jours. Comment jour? 20 jours. Plus c'est péri, non. Moi,
et ça me met dans l'esprit.
C'est là.
Pour lui-même, il pourrait convertir. On peut les refaire dans la vie.
Wismond has turned his back on his family's beliefs. He refuses to take part in the ceremony held in his honor. A spirit finally possesses Wisman's father.
Everyone follows their own path, but if my father didn't have a good spirit protecting Wismond, he would have been crushed. You tell me how come he wasn't crushed.
That night at dinner, Wismond, spurred by his new faith, lashes out against his family.
Il prend un contrat, il prend un contrat à 5 ans. Il fini, il prend un contrat à 5 ans, il a mangé madame, il a mangé petit tout. Comprends?
Bon tout magasin. Est-ce que vous pouvez reconnaître maman papa c'est bon Guinée franc côté.
Si tu vas monter tout ça encore. Maman ou papa ou t'es fort dans misère. Maman ou papa t'es fort va mettre au l'école, pas vrai?
Allez, OK, je m'abdou. Si maman va qu'on lit, papa va qu'on lit, là, ou même qui qu'on lit, on y a dit à la, on va mon pour.
Ça me fait dire que vous te fait petit bas passo, ou supposé arriver puis devant pour monter puis haut, là on casse ou même pour cacher nos façons. Comment faire aider? Comment faire aider? Toujours retirer quoi en ça ou non tête tout.
The earthquake changed Wismond, and for now it's caused a rift to grow between him and his brother. Back in Port-au-Prince, Elsie and her family are clinging together for comfort. They are living on top of an old landfill site, the best place they could find after their eviction.
We have no choice. Life took us here. Hopefully God will protect us. We are so scared.
Keeping a family going in these conditions is tough.
When there is a man in the house, one feels stronger. But since there isn't a man and I'm all alone with my children, I'm really scared.
The two fathers of Elsie's children both left her. Shadrach, her 19-year-old son, worries about the strain on her.
My mum doesn't have a job. Sometimes people who know her bring her food, but it isn't enough. When she's with us, she's fine. But when she's alone, she cries. She's scared.
The family settles down for the night.
Mami, mantenen d'accord suge kop gratis.
Pour faire quoi? Gratiner.
Non.
Il y a des fous.
Poisson seulement.
L'on a qu'on a le prend bois, mais elle va qu'on a chercher bois.
Elsie's had little time to mourn the loss of her youngest son.
Having this picture is like having him with us. He is in my heart. That's how he ended. When bodies were found after 9 or 10 days, people would burn them or leave them in the streets where dogs would be eating them. Rather than leaving my son in the street to be devoured by dogs, I asked them to leave him where he was, under the rubble.
Violinist Rommel Joseph has also been through a cathartic experience.
We finally found her. So that was very stressful.
After recovering his wife Misley's body, he laid her to rest.
Whenever we brought her down to him, he was just like, no, I just want to see her, I just want to see her. And we had the small ceremony. It was really nice. It was a very nice ceremony. And then they left. So.
Now the workers can start removing the rubble. His favorite violin has also been unearthed.
And I really thought it was gone. Everything is fine. Has a weird smell, of course, but, well, what can I say? The violin is still here. And I'm still here. But the violin and I were protected.
The task ahead of Rommel is daunting. An entire damaged building to pull down and remove before reconstruction can even begin.
Wow, they have work to do.
French soldiers took 4 days to clear a building by Rommel's school, and they had heavy diggers to help. Rommel and Victoria can't reopen the school while it's unsafe. They asked the Haitian and American governments to help with the demolition. The answer was no.
Even if we start doing it by hand, if we have to, after they clean that, it'll be done.
It's frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. You know, you would assume that they would gladly help. We're not asking for anything. You know, as far as give us money to do this, it's just come break this and that's it. But I guess it's too much to ask. So kind of it's like what is there that anybody can do at this point? Here you go.
Bon, time for me to go home. My work is done.
It's not yet, for today.
Oh, for today, yes. When we get home, I have to do my taxes. Taxes.
4,000 miles from Haiti, Evelyn has traveled to France to try to get the adoption process running again. The families are anxious for news of the children they want to adopt.
Le séisme du 12 janvier a causé la mort de beaucoup de vos petits. Aujourd'hui, je suis ici avec vous afin de vous dire que le travail entrepris n'est pas interrompu. C'est pas interrompu.
Children who once lived at the shelter have come to see her. They have a new life, sometimes also a new name.
Michlo, ah c'est Lisa. Ah oui. Les deux. Et où est ta sœur?
Elle est là-bas.
Et comment elle s'appelle?
Families pay £6,000 to the shelter as a fee. Adoption's a slow process, made harder by the earthquake.
Le dossier il est à l'ambassade depuis mi-mars. T'as une idée ou pas de...
Bon, alors, ce qu'il y a, c'était vraiment au consulat.
Ouais.
Alors, à ce moment-là, on m'avait bien averti qu'il y aurait un petit délai.
His name is Clevens and he's 17 months old. Clevens' bed when we went last November. His mother, his brother.
The families believe they offer a real chance to the children. But even here, the earthquake has affected lives deeply.
We didn't do his bedroom because we are afraid. Since the earthquake, We sleep, we live, thinking all day long, all day long, all day long.
Once the papers are signed, the Conyards want to travel to Haiti to collect Clevens and begin their new life together. Back in Haiti, Wisman's already embarked on his new life. He started preaching at his church and is convinced he is helping to revitalize his country.
Et puis bon Dieu regardez mon petit morceau planche. Boss moi, après ça soit fait. Soit fait. On dit ah, c'est là moi pas une nouvelle Haïti vrai. Le monde qui marche avec Jésus, il peut jamais marcher dans fait. Bon mon petit applaudissement pour bon Dieu.
He now believes he has to share his message with others.
Even if I have to go to all the churches in the country and gather all the nations to say thanks to God, it will still not be enough for me.
But Vinisso is skeptical about Wisman's conversion and refuses to join his brother's church, holding on to his voodoo traditions instead.
Wisman's got his faith, I've got mine. He wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for my beliefs.
But despite their differences, the brothers are now sharing a one-room shack with Vinisso's wife and children.
Ici, hein? Comme ça.
At night, Wismund is the only one who dares sleep inside, believing he's protected by God. The two brothers share the same opinion about what needs doing to rebuild Haiti.
All the time, foreign countries are giving Haiti funding, but you don't know where all the money goes. It's not the fault of other nations. They would like Haiti to be beautiful as well, but we've got bad leaders who don't think for the people. All of them are liars, bluffers.
If it all goes to the Haitian government, nothing good will be done. I'm really happy the whites have plans for Haiti. They have got dreams for Haiti. After God, it is the Americans. After God, it is the whites.
The faith many Haitians have in foreigners has yet to be rewarded.
If you look around town, you can see there hasn't been much change. Most of those buildings that went down are still down. They're not cleaned up.
Much of Port-au-Prince is still in ruins. By May, of the billions pledged by government to the Haiti Reconstruction Fund, only Brazil had fully paid up.
There's a lot of rumors outside. The international community believes that this government is too corrupt to give them all this money. While politics take place, the people then have to find a way to live.
A further threat is the imminent hurricane season.
Let's just pray the hurricane season stay away from here. I'm sure there'll be no tents left if one of them goes through. So whoever is in this tent, I really wish them good luck.
For Elsie, still living atop a rubbish dump, the weather is yet one more thing to worry about. Last night it rained.
This morning I had to wash every single thing and hang it out to dry. Also, when it rains, small insects crawl inside the tent. Little roaches and other bugs.
The children are back at school, but establishing a routine is proving hard.
My school books, my homework, my sandals, everything was wet.
With no government housing plan in sight, a few are building semi-permanent shacks around Elsie's camp. But even this is beyond her current means.
We still have a plan. Even if it's in 12 months' time, we'll rent a little place to survive. We don't have enough money to buy, and building is not easy. It's not just one house Haiti needs. It's a huge plan. If you want to build, you have to have a lot of money.
By another camp on the outskirts of the capital, Workers are laying the foundations of a permanent house.